So, as a lot of you may know, I was in the process of completing a 100k Myforex challenge, which I was documenting here live on YouTube. And a lot of you may know as well that Myforex funds have just had their assets frozen. In the aftermath of all of this, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of fear, doubt spreading around the prop firm space, and rightly so, because the most, or one of the most highly regarded prop firms out there has just been accused of fraud, and potentially other prop firms could follow suit. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail about the reasons why Myforex funds have been penalized. Again, nothing's finalized yet. They still do have a hearing on the 11th of September. But in summary, they're basically being accused of lying about their operations, sabotaging traders, and being their own broker. So make sure you go Google the full-length document issued by the CFTC if you want to understand the nitty-gritty details of all the allegations brought to them. But in my honest opinion, it doesn't look good for Myforex funds. Definitely if these allegations stick, I'm not too sure we will see them back, which means I have to wave goodbye to my $500 for my 100k challenge. But what does this mean for other prop firms? Are they operating in a similar nature? Are they also lying to us? Questions we just don't know the answer to unless we're part of the organizations themselves. But I do think there are genuine prop firms out there 100% that are honest about their operations, not taking advantage of simulated conditions, and also using a third-party regulated broker as well. I 100% do believe there are prop firms out there. I need to research and discover those firms. But on the other hand, there probably are firms out there which probably operate similar to Myforex funds. Now, Myforex funds was one of the highly regarded prop firms out there, if not the most. So if they can get away with it and be at the top of the game, it means there could be other prop firms out there. So I definitely recommend being careful out there, boys and girls. But from a bird's eye view, I do think this is definitely a good thing going forward, because if prop firms want to survive, they have to straighten up if they haven't done already, because there's now a legal document they have to abide by, or they will suffer the same fate as Myforex funds. So this definitely does help the trader. So what should us traders do going forward? Definitely in regards to prop firms. Well, firstly, in my opinion, the prop firm model, funding company business model, is definitely under scrutiny right now. There's definitely a blanket or a cloud of uncertainty around it because it was labeled as a Ponzi scheme in the CFTC document. Now, I don't know if that's just purely regards to how Myforex funds were operating, because they were definitely talking about how they use the fees of failed challenge accounts to pay out the successful traders, which is pretty much what all modern day prop firm funding companies do, at least the majority of them. So I'm not too sure if this will trickle down to other prop firms as well, or there was a specific thing that Myforex funds were doing that only accommodates to their operations. Again, I'm not a legal expert in this matter, so I definitely would research that and develop your own opinion. This is just my opinion, which could definitely be subject to change with more information later on. But I'm not too sure if the prop firm model will survive. But on another hand, I do still recommend using prop firms to build your capital, because at the moment, it's definitely a lot of the lying, a lot of the manipulation, the sabotage of traders that is definitely the main scrutiny of Myforex funds and Traders Group Global. And as long as other prop firms are not doing that, again, we're not sure definitely if they're not or if they are. But if we can find prop firms that do not do this, I definitely think there is money to be made with that business model. Whether it stands or not, with relegations coming in, that's all yet to be seen in the future. And I'll definitely express my opinions later based on the new facts we get. But for now, it definitely is a blanket of uncertainty. Again, that's my opinion. I'm not trying to spread fear or doubt or anything. It's just my opinion. I am slightly doubtful of it. But I do think they will survive, but maybe in a different format, a different form, as they have been doing so already. Because in spite of all of this, prop firms are still the quickest way to attain sizable capital if you are undercapitalized. However, I would suggest to be careful, because what happened to Myforex funds could potentially happen to any other firm out there. So if you do take another challenge, if you get funded with another firm, maybe max allocated with another firm, I would be careful. Actually, do not get max allocated with another firm. I suggest not to get max allocated with another firm, because if they were to go under, you're going to lose a considerable amount of capital. It's much wiser to spread 400k or 600k across 4, 5, 6 different firms rather than just one, because if they go, then all of it goes. If 2 goes, then you maybe got 3 left to remain. So you do maths. So I would suggest do not do that. But if you do get funded, if you do take another challenge, be careful, because if that firm was to go under, or multiple firms go under, you're not in a place where you're financially unstable and you can't survive that that event happening. So you want to make sure that you are saving the money you make from prop firms. Therefore, if something was to go under, you still got a pot of money to buffer to help with that. So make sure that you do take that into consideration. But I still do recommend using prop firms going forward because, like I said, the fastest way to attain sizable capital. And if you can extract some money whilst they're still going, if they're still going, it could still continue. Again, it's all up in the air. You might as well take advantage of that opportunity if you do have the skill set. If you don't have the skill set, be patient. There's still definitely ways to make money, which I'll discuss shortly. But with prop firm model, it's still a bit of uncertainty, so be careful with it. I also want to stress the importance of having your own personal capital, growing that personal capital, whether you have to start small and build from it. But you definitely want to create a track record from that because that definitely is going to help you out the most in the long run. Again, there is a cloud of uncertainty around prop firms at the moment, and having your money in a regulated broker definitely is a safer place for it. It's more reliable. Although brokers too can go under, it definitely is a much safer place right now than having it in prop firms and paying for challenges. Like I said, I still do recommend taking challenges if you can afford it and if you're in a place to do it. But the most important thing, and that goes for every single trader out there, is building that personal capital and of course building that track record, because the long-term goal, the long-term vision is to have that larger capital, whether from investors or working with a fund that you can trade with large capital, so there's no stress. You can make small percentages and still make big gains in the market. So the key thing right now is building that track record for 3 to 5 years in most cases, but make sure you're focused on the right things. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I have lost my 100k challenge with my Forex funds. Again, potentially it might survive. There's still nothing's finalized yet, but I highly doubt I do see that challenge again. Again, it's just a minor bump in the road. My main focus has always been trading my personal capital, growing that, and of course continuing to build my track record. So that's still my main focus. But before I do dip my feet back into the water of prop firms, I make sure I do a lot of research before I choose which prop firm I want to partner up with next. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening to the video. I definitely do feel for anyone who has been badly affected by this, but in the long run, I do think this is definitely a good thing going forward. But guys, if you have enjoyed the video, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams I upload in the future. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.